I am there,
Shaf.
teacher.
Okay. Uh, okay. Arsha is recording us. Why is that?
Good, no, miss. Then if somebody miss the session, we can send the record, no?
Why did you late to join?
No, sorry, miss, because I am on the way to my home. That's the thing.
එහෙම පුළුවන්ද මේ අපි ඔක්කොම වැඩ නවත්තන් ඉන්නවා මෙයා හින්දා.
ඒක තමයි. Sorry, miss, sorry.
Okay, let's start.
Okay, miss. Then I'll leave.
Okay.
Okay, miss. Thank you.
Everyone, you have the tute?
Yes, miss.
Okay. We'll start with
Yes, miss.
the tute. Open this. Introduction to basic counseling skills. The PowerPoint presentation. Open that. Can you see that? Hello?
Miss, are you sharing the screen?
Yeah, I'm sharing it. Shafrina? Shafrina, are you there? Why is this not coming to screen? Hold on. I'm trying. Can you see it?
No, miss.
Shafrina came.
Yeah, I came.
Uh, I will start the lesson with the basic psychology skills. That one. I'm trying to get the screen, but don't know why it's not coming. Do you have it now in your laptop? Can you access your laptops?
Yes, miss.
Yeah, we'll do like that. Otherwise, the time wasting. No?
Okay.
You are working now, no, Naomi?
Yes, miss.
Now working lady, no? Who is that laughing?
Shafrina.
Now she is very rich, huh, Shafrina? Now Naomi is
Yeah,
very
yeah.
rich. Now working also.
Next time I will be party.
Yeah, Naomi will give us a treat, huh?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Now earning, no?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Here, now the first section 3, Introduction to Basic Counseling Skills, right?
Yes.
In that tune, first one, training objectives. Okay, so at the end of this thing you will be able to describe each of these, right? Identify a minimum of four counseling strategies useful in something, right? Now this presentation is programmed for drug abuse and clinical supervision and stuff, but now we cannot do practicals, no, we are doing online, no. So we'll learn what are the strategies and the skills that you need to do counseling. Okay, so introduction to counseling. What is counseling? Can Naomi read this slide?
Okay, Miss. Counseling involves the following: interactive relationship, collaboration, set of clinical skills and teaching techniques, positive reinforcement, emotional support, formal record.
Now, if I ask you what is counseling, can you define?
Can.
මොකක්ද?
Counseling is something, counseling is a science and an art
කවුද
which we
කියලා දුන්නේ?
use.
Who
How the
taught you that?
Miss Farina.
Okay, I asked the scientific definition, okay? Not the explanation. So, I will give you the definition. You have the writing book?
Yes.
Put the date. Okay. Counseling psychology is a general practice and health service provider specialty in professional psychology. Full stop. Counseling psychologists help people with physical, emotional and mental health issues, improve their sense of well-being,
Teacher, mental
health issues, improve their sense of well-being, and resolve crisis. හරිද? So when I ask you to define it, this is how you define. Okay.
Okay, Miss.
Okay. Hamna is there?
Yes, Miss.
Okay. Now, when you define counseling, you have to mention these key terms: physical, emotional, and mental health. So these are the three categories that we target when we do counseling. Counseling is not just talking. Okay. Okay. Now not you, Naomi and Shafrina is talking. That is not counseling. Okay. Not only talking. With the talking, with the collaboration that between you and the therapist offer you a, a guideline that will help you to resolve particular crisis. Okay. So this is not just a communication, this is not just a talking, this is not just sharing things. Ultimate goal is to resolve particular crisis. Understood? Okay.
Yes, Miss. Okay.
Yeah. Now comes the tute again. Okay. First one. Now when you like, this is the definition I gave you, and when it comes to counseling, these all 6 areas we are covering with counseling bond. Counseling is a particular bond, okay, with the professional therapist and the client. You are the client. One who giving you the guideline is the professional therapist or the counselor, we call him, right? So you all maintain an interactive relationship. This is not only uh, one meeting, right? You are going to meet him or her, the counselor, few sessions. Normally it is 8 sessions. Okay, it depends. Okay, we cannot exactly say you have to go this much. This how many visit you should visit. Normally it is 8, but we cannot exactly say that because it depends with the crisis and the issue and depend on the client as well. Why? The person to person, the capacity, the what do you mean? Openness. You have to be open with the therapist, no? Okay. First session, the first session, you can see, you will feel the therapist as a stranger. So you will not open with the therapist properly. So, like that, you will maintain an interactive relationship step by step. Understood? Okay. So, when we go through
Yeah.
counseling process, first one is interactive relationship. When you meet the counselor, next step is collaboration. After interactive relationship, you are making a collaboration. How? After first meetup, you will get to know the counselor well. Okay, this person is helping me, so I should open more, and I should explain my issue, so he will help me. So likewise you will feel uh, how to maintain the interactive relationship. Then the next step, eventually you will be in a collaboration. Understood? It is not just happening because you are dealing with a stranger in other way. Okay, he is not a he is not a relative of you, he is not a friend of you. Okay, he is a stranger. After that only he is uh, enter into your subject, to your issue, and helping you to resolve the crisis. Okay, so interactive relationship. After that you are going to be collaborative, and what happened is after that, set of clinical skills. Now these clinical skills I am teaching you with the other presentation. Okay, right? And the positive reinforcement. What is reinforcement? In your words, explain what is reinforcement. Yeah, can someone give me an
No,
idea about it?
don't know.
Don't know. Who is that? Shafina ඉතින්
Premium.
මුකුත් දන්නේ නැහැනේ හැමදාම.
Reinforcement means like for action, forcing something. Re,
Yeah, we
re,
can say it's a good, positive, no? Good. Okay. Shall I give you a sentence about it in your writing book? Write this down. Positive reinforcement is using a reward for positive behavior to make sure the child continues with the desired behavior. This is an effective method of shaping behavior.
Teacher, हमने
Yeah.
message එක එවනවා එයාගේ එයාගේ side එකේ coverage නැහැ කියලා message එකක් ආවා teacher. වැඩ කරන්නේ නෑලු.
Okay, then what to do? You just can
Teacher, you
someone
teacher, I'll send the recording. I can
yeah, you
screen
send the
save.
recording. Okay, you send the recording then. Okay. Okay. Hello.
Okay, teacher. Okay, I'll send.
This is an effective method of shaping behavior because praise and rewards are both used making it so the behavior is more likely to happen in the future. Full stop.
okay.
Did you finish writing?
Yes, miss.
Now reread the sentence you wrote and try to understand what it is. Understand?
Yes, miss.
Okay. What is the next one?
Emotional support.
Emotional support. What is that? Easy to understand.
Supporting emotionally.
Yeah. Now I told you there are 3 key terms when you define counseling, psychology, counseling. So the process involves emotional, physical, and mental health. Right? We are dealing with emotional problems which is not visible. Okay, it is we have to make it what do you call it? Now the emotional problems sometimes we cannot uh, represent in front of everyone. Okay, so those problems maybe you cannot open with your parent, open with your best friend, but you can get the help, get the proper help from a guide who is a counselor, professional person. He is trained for that. He has developed counseling skills for help to a help to a client who comes with different background, comes with different uh, personalities and issues. Okay, so the emotional help is very hard to get from someone, like, because we called it empathy. Now you will learn that in the other tude, but I will tell it now. The emotional problems, you need someone who is listening to you. But these days, okay, nowadays we cannot find people like that because all are busy with their own work, isn't it? Now see, Naomi also busy. Naomi started working. Ah, right, Shafrina? Hello? Naomi, are you there? Can you hear
Yes,
me?
Yeah,
miss.
Naomi is very busy. Very busy.
Ah, okay. දැන් ඉතින් ආයි හම්බුනාම දෙයි හොඳ කුටියක්. ශාප්‍රිනාට. හොඳේ?
Oh.
So it's like that. So not everyone is good in listening. To be a counselor, you should be a good listener. Okay. So
Hmm.
the Naomi, if you want to be a counselor, you have to listen well.
Okay.
Ah. Okay. Next one. What is the next one?
And formal record.
Ah. Mm, uh, wait. Recording. What is it? What is your idea about it?
Recording
Yeah.
something
We must throw into our
Something.
mind.
formal, like official way, in an official way.
Okay. Just write this down.
Okay.
Marriage and family therapists.
What teacher? Sorry.
Marriage and marriage and family therapists marriage and family therapists provide clients with reasonable access to records with reasonable access to records concerning the clients concerning the clients concerning the clients, full stop. Okay. Which are based on compelling evidence which are based on compelling evidence, . Oh, wait. What is the sentence you start with? Marriage, right? Marriage and
Marriage and
family
family
therapists provide
therapy
clients with reasonable access to records concerning the clients.
which are based on compelling evidence.
Okay. Yes, they are based on compelling evidence that such access could cause serious harm to the client. Access could cause serious harm to the client. Full stop. The client's request, the client's request and the rationale for withholding, the client's request and the rationale for withholding some or all some or all of the record should be documented in the client's file. Full stop.
Clients
Marriage and client's file documented in the
file.
client's first of ES
File.
file.
Mm.
Marriage and family therapists take steps to protect the confidentiality of other individuals identified in client records.
Teacher of other individuals.
Identified in client's records. Sometimes you have to record the session as evidence. Understood?
Yeah.
Yes, miss.
Okay. When a depressive patient meeting a counselor, sometimes if the patient is having severe condition, who is having suicidal thoughts, sometimes the counselor will record the session. So in future, if something happen, he can produce as an evidence, isn't it?
Yeah.
So
Yes.
all other way around, he has to confidentially protect whatever the record he has
Mm.
keep in with him, right? He cannot open it with other person, and he cannot discuss with whatever he talks with the client, and he also have to uh, protect the anonymity of the people who are in the record. Like if the client is opening some bad experience with someone else, so he also have to uh, protect that uh, particular person's identity as well, right? Okay. Next one, next slide, I mean. The purpose of counseling. Now, what is the point of going seeking counseling? If someone asks, this should be in your answer. Goals of treatment, treatment modality, treatment plan. Now when we deal with emotional problems, we should have a plan. We should be not the client. Actually, your counselor already made a plan how to deal with this client. So that plan is different with the next client he is gonna meet. So client to client, the plan is different, and the what do you call
Treatment.
sessions and the development, everything is depend person to person. Naomi's uh, reaction toward a particular problem is different than Shafrina. So it's like that, understood? So goals of treatment, treatment modality, treatment plan, scheduling of sessions. If you come today, okay, you can visit me next week, this day, like that. He is appointing a particular time, okay. Frequency and length of treatment. So if you are gaining a particular treatment from the therapist, so the counselor, he will appoint you a treatment with a particular duration, 45 minutes, 30 minutes, like that. Okay. So potential involvement of others, termination of treatment. If the client is developing daily routines and engage with others well and maintaining relationships properly, if the counselor see, okay, my client is now making a change, now he can do things alone, he can take a good decision. If the counselor failed in that way, he can terminate the treatment, but it takes bit of a time, because these emotional problems we cannot solve like quickly, not like a physical wound, right? When you have a physical wound, we can put some medicines and cover it and uh, like give some time, maybe
Cure.
3 days or 4 days, but this is not like that. Emotional problems take time, understood?
Mm.
Yeah. Next one,
Yeah.
basic counseling skills. First one.
Teacher,
Yeah.
now when we talk about purpose of counseling, it can be like in another way also, right?
Another way means
Another way means like purpose means the what is the purpose that a counselor have to do counseling? What is
hmm,
my goal? Why should I
okay,
do
counselor
counseling?
goal.
Yes.
Counselor goal. That will discuss in the other tube. Okay. Now first we have to identify the skills that you need to underneath. Understood? First one,
Yes.
active listening. ඔක්කොටම කලින් කවුන්සලර් වෙන කෙනෙක් වෙන කලින් හොඳ ලිස්නර් කෙනෙක් වෙන්න ඕනේ. හරිද?
Mm.
ගොසිප් කර කර ඉඳලා හරියන්නේ නැහැ ඒකට. හරිද ශාෆ්රිනා?
Hari hari.
Okay. Can you read the slide?
Basic counseling skills: active listening, processing, responding. Next one, technique.
No, go to the other slide, the active listening slide.
Mm. Active listening by the clinical encourages the client to share
Clinician.
information.
Clinician.
Clinician encourages. Active listening by the clinician encourages the client to share information by providing verbal and non-verbal expression of interest.
Verbal and non-verbal? What is non-verbal?
Not
Verbal means
verbally,
our
Yeah, I
our
can understand the
emotions.
term, but I'm asking is an explanation.
we must show
Emotion.
reaction, face reaction, like we must show
Yeah,
reaction from our
facial reactions actually. Your pose, your eye contact, your tone. Tone is verbal, no?
voice
Your
tone.
eye contact, facial expressions, those are non-verbal. Okay. Active listening by the clinician encourages the client to share information by providing verbal and non-verbal expressions of interest. Now, when someone දැන් අයෝමි කරන වැඩක් තමයි මේ කියන්න යන්නේ. දැන් අයෝමි ගිහිල්ලා හොඳ ඕපාදූපයක් කියනවා හොඳම යාළුවෙක්ට. හරිද?
මං වගේ
එතකොට
හොඳ ළමයි.
යාළුවා යාළුවා වැඩි ඉන්ට්‍රස්ට් එකක් නැතුව අහන් ඉන්නකොට නයෝමිට කේන්ති යනවා. හරිද? එතකොට නයෝමි ආයෙත් ගිහලා ඒ යාළුවට මොනවා හරි කියනවද?
නෑ යන්නේ.
නෑනේ. It's like this now. Okay? Even for a stranger now, the first session, with the first session, you see him as a stranger, no? Right?
Yes.
So when you deal with a stranger, so you are not going to open from the first place, right? So in that case, if you feel this person, even though he is a stranger, he is really keen into my uh, problem, he is listening to my problem. So the expressions, even though he is not talking, with expression we can understand if the person is listening to us or not, right?
Yes.
නේද? එතකොට so it's like that. When you feel in that way, you provide more information. Understood? Active listening, right? Next one. Attending, paraphrasing, reflection of feelings, summarizing. මේවා තමයි active listening skills වලට uh, like you have to be an active listener, you have to cover up these ones. Attending, paraphrasing, reflection of feelings, and summarizing. I will tell you one of it. Okay, first one, attending. Expressing awareness. Expressing awareness and interest in what the client is communicating both verbally and non-verbally. Okay, when you listen to the story for the first time, you have to be more focused on that. Okay, when you dealing with the client, when he explains something, you have to be more like you have to show an awareness of it. Like you have to show him that yes, I am listening to you. For that you don't need to talk, you can non-verbally express it. Okay, without disturbing
Shaking
the
the head.
story. You can disturb in the story, but if you have a question you can ask, but not all the time, because when you like ask something, sometimes he might forget what he is gonna tell you. Okay, you shouldn't forget about the person, because the person is not 100% healthy in emotional way. So these clients might forget things easily. Understood? So attending means expressing awareness and interest in what the client is communicating with you. Okay. So what is other thing is, attending helps the clinician how better understand the client through careful observation. Then when he explain the story, explain the issue, what you do is you have to observe very silently. These things you cannot do. Understood? What I am explaining is a professional counselor do this. Not everyone can do. You can't do. Okay? So professional trained counselor has these qualities. Okay? Attending helps to understand the client through careful observation. Okay? Attending helps the client how he feel relaxed and feel comfortable. When you have a problem, you go and tell to your best friend why you trust him. Then you feel comfortable and you feel relaxed. Okay, now he also know what I am experiencing. That feeling is there when you tell something to your best friend, a problem especially. Understood? Express their ideas and feelings freely in their own way. Trust the counselor. Take a more active role in their own sessions. Like When you feel counselor is paying attention to you, you are starting trusting him. Understood? You trust him, and next step is you provide more information. So through that collaboration, clinician will understand better. Understood?
Mm.
Next one is proper attending involves following. What are those? Eye contact, I told you. Okay. Eye contact is the main one, non-verbal wise. When you talk with
Mm.
someone, if that person is not maintaining eye contact or here and there, he is looking at here and there, then you feel he is not listening to me. Understood? When he like in a not like a dangerous way, in a healthy way, if he interacting eye contact with you, you feel okay, I am safe to tell this, I can trust him. Okay. And facial expressions, okay, that eventually uh, uh, start feeling when you deal with a person like that. Now, when I explain facial expressions, I cannot exactly tell how it is because this is not practical session. When you are free, go to YouTube and watch some videos how these counselors maintaining eye contact and facial expressions. Okay, maintaining a relaxed posture. Posture also very important.
Sitting.
Posture means what? How you sitting?
Sitting.
Seating arrangement.
Mm.
That is also important. Like between you and the counselor, if you have so many
Gap.
like what do you mean
Gap.
things like we'll see the distance is very you have a what do you call it between you and the client, counselor and the client. If you see a big distant, then client cannot explain well, no? Why? Why is that?
The distance is uh,
When then client should explain it in a bit loud way. Otherwise, the counselor cannot hear no, properly. So active listening
mm.
should be there, but to get the proper attending, you have to be not very close, but a standard distant. I will show you when we meet. Okay, maintaining a relaxed posture. Like counselor should sit in a way that client will see he is ready to help you. I am here to help you. Okay, that feeling will get when with the right posture. Okay, and leaning and forward occasionally using natural hand and arm movements. Statue එකක් වගේ ඉන්න බැහැනේ.
Mhm.
තේරුණාද? You have to
Mm.
uh, show client that I am understanding, I am getting your idea. So for that, arm movements, natural smile, and eye contact, those things were really helpful. Verbally following the client using a variety of brief encouragement such as yes, hmm, or really, aha, like that, those uh, brief encouragements encouraging you to provide more information. Okay, observing the client's body language. Body language means
Uh,
now
Body
depressive
expression.
patient's body language and normal person body language is different. Normally depressive patients uh, undergo with stress, anxiety, moody. Very moody. Moody means what? Now he is seems to be happy, but the next second he is changing. Very moody. Understood? So body
Mm.
language help the counselor to understand the uh, emotional behavior of the client. Next one. Example of attended. Can you see? Okay. I'm so tired, but I cannot sleep. So I drink some wine.
Mm.
So the response of the counselor,
Sounds like.
like that. Okay. When I wake up, it's too late already. Please continue. Too late for my work. My boss fired me. I see. See, that empathetic response. I see. When he explains something negative experience, then you have to be very empathetic with your response. Understood? Then only he trusts you, the client. Activity. Okay. This actually we can't do now, no? Next one, paraphrasing. What is paraphrasing? Can you read, Shafrina?
Oh, wait. Page one.
Paraphrasing?
One teacher page one. Mm. Wait,
Are you,
just
are you sleeping?
no, I'm not sleepy. Page went.
Uh,
Case study only there, teacher. The client asked the clinician
no,
about the
no.
aware. Then
No.
okay,
Paraphrasing.
okay, 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 okay. I got. Paraphrasing is when the clinician restates the content of the client's previous statement. Paraphrasing uses words that are similar to clients but fewer. The purpose of paraphrasing is to communicate to the client that you understand when he or she is
Ah,
saying.
paraphrasing uses words that are similar to the client's but fewer. Paraphrasing is when the clinician restates the content of the client's previous statement. Now it's like this. Active listening, okay? When we narrow it down, first one is attending no.
Mm.
Next step is paraphrasing. Aye. Paraphrasing means when he explain a significant uh, incident happened to the client, when you actively listening to the story, uh, the counselor might feel that is an important turning point. This is something important. Okay. So when the counselor feeling that, he will restate it, the sentence in the same way. Okay. That is called paraphrasing. The same statement mentioned by the client, he will restate it because the counselor felt that is significant in some way. So he restate it and he expect some another explanation for the incident the client uh, speak of. Understood? So when you
Yes.
understand something interesting, you restate it, then you will get more information eventually when you restate it with the same word. Understood? The purpose of paraphrasing is to communicate to the client that you understand what he or she is saying in other way. Okay? Next one. Paraphrasing helps the clinician verify their perceptions of the client's statements and spotlight an issue. That's what I'm talking about. Okay? Significant incident. If you feel this is very important fact he spoke while ago, you restate it. Then you will find more information. And also you can verify again because client will provide more information, then you can verify it to yourself. Understood? In a client way, realize that the counselor understand what they are saying. Okay, clarify their remarks, or you can uh, explain in other way. I meant this. Understood? Focus on what is important and relevant. Then clients also understand, okay, this might be the weakness of me because of this issue what I spoke while ago. This can be an issue for this issue, something like that. So he also find which is important and relevant. Understood?
Hmm.
Okay.
Yes.
Where's Naomi?
I am here.
Naomi,
I'm here.
Sleeping there.
No.
Ah,
you have
okay.
mute her.
You can see an example of paraphrasing. My mom irritates me. She picks on me for no reason at all. We do not like each other. So, you are having problems getting along with your mother. You are concerned about your relationship with her. Yes, something like that. So, he can verify what he thought about the client. So, like that, paraphrasing go on. Reflection of feelings. Can you read, Naomi?
Reflection of feelings. Reflection of feelings is when the clinician expresses the client's feelings, either stated or implied. The counselor tries to perceive the emotional state of the client and respond in a way that demonstrates an understanding of client's emotional state.
Yeah. Reflection of feelings is when the clinician expresses the client's feelings. When you can see he is sad, you also be not sad like him, but you have to be very empathetic. I can understand you. You should see as reflective. I can understand the situation. Something like that. You have to show him that you also feel the same way. Reflection of feelings tries to perceive the emotional state of the client and respond in a way that demonstrate an understanding of the client's emotional state. Understand?
Hmm.
Okay. Next
Yes,
one.
miss.
How this reflection thing help to you as a counselor? Check whether or not they accurately understand what the client is feeling. Bring out problem areas without the client being pushed or forced. That can be a way to be tricky, like bring out problem areas with that reflecting uh, can be happen. It's like that now. uh, when he is sad, you can see, okay, now it's time to bring out the issue. Okay, maybe because of this reason you are feeling like this. If the boss is always uh, making complaints, when I ask you about the boss, then you might feel very uh, sad, or you will show me non-verbally that you don't like to talk about him. So counselor will understand bringing out the problem areas. Understood? Okay.
Okay, miss.
What about the client perspective? How this reflection help to the client realize that the counselor understand what they feel, increase awareness of their feelings, learn that feelings and behavior are connected. It's like that. If you sad, your performance will be low. Okay? If you like to study some subject, maybe maths or something, why you like that? You know you can do it. If you are weak to maths, you don't like mathematics, maths exams. Understood? So the feeling and the behavior are interconnected, right? Next one. This is a reflection of feeling, an example for you. I can understand it. When I get home in the evening, my house is a mess. The kids are dirty. My husband does not care about dinner. I do not feel like going home at all. So, what is the response from the counselor? You are not satisfied with the way the house goes and organized. That irritates you. Yes. See the reflection. Understand? Summarizing. Can you read, Shafrina?
Yeah. Summarizing is an important way for the clinician to gather together what has already been said. Make sure that the client has been understood correctly and prepare the client to move on. Summarizing is putting together a group of reflections.
Mm. End of the session. Maybe you spend 45 minutes or 1 hour with the uh, practitioner. End of the session, you summarize it. You uh, gather some reflections uh, during the session. So you put in together all reflective uh, information you got during the 45 minutes. Understood? That is called summarizing. Okay.
Mm.
How this summarizing help to you as a counselor? It provide focus for the session. Like for the next session, then you can plan, okay, I will focus on this particular topic with the client when he meet me again. Confirm the client's perception. Okay, so you don't like to go home after you finished your work. So you can confirm the client's perception of it. Focus on one issue while acknowledging the existence of others. Terminate a session in a logical way, right? So you should make him that you have to come and meet me to discuss further about your issue. So we can help together and sort it out. Likewise, okay? Summarizing helps the client. How? Clarify what they mean. What you have verbally communicate with the counselor, then you can clarify. Okay, what are the weak points? Realizing what counselor understand, have a sense of movement and progress, right? Okay, because the counselor will suggest you to do some things when you are free or when you feel anxiety. Okay, relaxation technique or something like that. So have a sense of movement and progress. When you feel something like this, do this. Go to temple when you feel sad or when you feel anxious. No, not anxious, when you feel distress. Sit down under the boat tree for a while and meditate. Then it will relax your mind. Or talk to someone you trust. Share with the person. uh, Something like that. So movement and progress. Okay. Example of summarizing. Can you read, Shafrina?
Mm. Wait. Mm. We discussed your relationship with your husband. You said there were conflicts right from the start related to the way money was handled, and that he often felt you gave more importance to your friends. Yet, on the whole, things went well, and you were cute, quiet, quiet happy until 3 years ago. Then the conflicts became more frequent and more intense. So much so that he let you twice and talked of divorce. 2. This was also the time when your drinking was at its peak. Have I understood the situation properly? Yes,
See,
that
all the reflections, yeah, all the reflections are in one paragraph called summarizing.
mm,
Okay, this is what
mm.
you got during the session. Now you come into this next one, processing. First one is active listening, which is covering these elements, and you come to the next one, processing. Can you read again?
Processing is the act of clinician thinking about his or her observation about the client and what the client has communicated.
Yeah. In other way, clinician observe the behavior and when he depend on the explanation progressing. Okay, processing is the act of the clinician thinking about his or her observations about the client and what the client has communicated, right? Go on, next one.
Mm, wait. Mm. Processing allows the counselor to mentally catalog the following data: clients' beliefs, knowledge, attitudes, and expectations, information given by his or her family, counselor's observation.
Now when you meet a client you can understand the personality type, maybe charismatic, ඒ වගේ ඉන්න types තියෙනවනේ. එතකොට some people don't like to get advice from people. You can feel it. Even though he met a practitioner, he might not keen to ideas that counselor giving you. So things like that can give you a proper outlook of the client. Okay, and the knowledge. Sometimes he is really uh, mm, uh, who is believing some supernatural thing. You know, supernatural thing which cannot prove with science, you know,
Mm,
understood. So
yes,
you can understand the
Yes.
capacity of uh, understanding something. So his attitudes, his educational level, not to be mean, but you have to be realistic. Understood, right?
yes,
Sometimes the client's beliefs can be the problem, not a real issue. Understood? Maybe some sort of discomfort. Like client might feel everyone looking at me when I travel by bus, when I work in an office, boss always looking at me. So maybe things are not real, but he might feel it. So that can be a problem with him, not others. So counselor can understand with the processing gone on. Okay. And sometimes you have to get information from his family or fiance, okay, with the closed ones. Okay, responding. Next one, the act
responding
of,
is the
yeah, read.
act of communicating information to the client that includes providing feedback and emotional support, addressing issues of the concern, and teaching skills.
Yeah, now you understand well the problem during the processing. Now it's your turn to respond in a healthy way. Maybe you should do this and try this out. Maybe it can be a change of your life. Why not trying that? You suggest some ideas, you come up with an ideas and you show in, like, try this out. Maybe it can be a big change. So he might try it. Okay. So likewise, uh, and you have to provide a feedback. Okay. You have mentioned these things to me because you trust me that much. So let me help you. Okay. And you provide emotional support with empathy. Next one is empathy. What is it?
Empathy is the action of understanding, being aware of, being sensitive to, and vicariously expressing the feelings, thoughts, and experience of another.
Basically, empathy means you feel the same way like your client feel. Client perspective. Okay. Even though you are not really experienced in the situation, you have to be empathetic and you have to show him, I can understand, and you have to be very sensitive with the question issue. You have to be very look at the issue like seriously. Okay, when he is sad you can't be smiling, you also have to be silent, you can't be sad, you are the counselor, no? You have to be non-verbally express your empathy, right? Can you understand the term empathy?
Yes.
Yeah, can you explain the
Um,
example here?
Example of expressing empathy. I am so tired, but I cannot sleep, so I drink some wine. I see. When I wake up, I am already too late for work. Yesterday my boss fired me. I understand. I am sorry about your job. But I do not have drinking problem.
See,
Do not have a
that's
drinking
how
problem.
you express your empathy. If he explains something negative experience, you can't be silent. You have to be like active with non-verbal or verbal in like I see or really like that. Understood? Probing. Probing is the counselor's use of a question to direct the client's attention to explore his or her situation in a greater depth. Then, what do you feel it? Okay. You want to turn uh, a factor deeply. You want to study deeply. Okay. So what you do is you use a question. Can you explain about this job or whatever you do? Okay. Can you explain about the person who is making you uncomfortable? Something like that. You turn it like that. Then you can get more information. Okay. A probing question should be open ended. Probing helps to focus the client's attention on a feeling, situation, or a behavior. Probing may encourage the client to elaborate, clarify, or illustrate what he or she has been saying. Probing may enhance the client's awareness and understanding of his or her situation and feelings. Probing directs the clients to areas that need attention. Sometimes that area is the problematic area that he should clarify. So, like that, he might get awareness from the probing system, probing processing. Okay, so the counselor will be tricky to get more information with probing. Okay, can you understand the example? Read it.
Wait. Hmm. I was always known to be a good worker. I even received an award. Lately, I had some issues. My husband is just not helping. That is why I am always late. Work problems related to drug use. Mm, Tell me about the problems you have been having at that workplace. Actually, I have had lot of problems not only being late.
See,
Uh,
then you can understand underneath. Understood,
mm,
right? Example of probing. Interpreting. Interpreting is the clinician's explanation of the client's issues after observing the client's behavior, listening to the client, and considering other sources of information. Interpreting. You explain what you observed from your client. When he explains something, you can understand when he feel anxious. Okay, with sweating, he is looking here and there. He cannot maintain eye contact. He is uh, the finger movements. He is touching thumb. He's touching both hands. So anxious movements. So you can feel he is in discomfort. He is trying to explain you something, but he uh, can't open up. Something like that. Interpreting. So you observe him, his behavior, and listening to him, and you consider other sources of information that you want to get. So, what are the three components of this interpreting process? Determining and restating basic messages. How this restating happen? I told you attending.
mm,
Remember attending. In that you
yes,
restate, paraphrasing, restate, right?
yeah.
Determining and restating basic messages. Adding ideas for a new frame of reference, right? So he might not talk about a particular area, but you will ask so you can get some information. Validating these ideas with the client. Okay, so the client will be more aware of the issue. This is something I never thought of. Maybe this is the problem for my issue. Something like that. See the example,
You
Naomi.
say you had difficulty in getting.
Naomi, where's
Ye-
Naomi?
I mean, no,
yes,
the
miss.
translate.
අනේ මන්ද Naomi නිදිද මන්ද?
Yeah, miss.
එහෙනම් read කරන්න example එක. Yes.
No,
Naomi නිදි තමයි.
never
Please
read.
see rules for the sake. Hello?
Yeah, we can hear you.
Hello?
Yeah, can
Naomi,
hear,
yeah.
read.
You say you had difficulty in getting along with your boss. Once you mentioned that sometimes you simply broke the rules for the sake of breaking them. You also said that you were always late even when your husband had everything ready for the children. In the past, you said it was because of the negative behavior of your boss. This time you blamed your husband. It is possible that your problems at work, like being late, are related to your alcohol use. I always thought I could control it.
See, sometimes you don't like to open with your own uh, uh, negative behaviors, not like drinking alcohol. So she didn't tell it, but counselor felt something that client is hiding. So he opened and talk something uh, which clients didn't explore before, right? So it's like that interpreting. Silence. Sometimes you have to be silenced, like uh, encouraging client to reflect and continue sharing without disturbing. If you disturb him, sometimes he might not able to explain the problem he he started. Okay, it also can allow the client to experience the power of his or her own words. Let him talk, let him explain what he feel, then he will feel relaxed and he will trust you. Okay, silence can encourage the client to reflect and continue sharing. Okay, so this is a uh, role play. It's finished, right, the dude?
Yes.
Yeah. Now it's
Okay,
working.
do you understand in the counseling process now?
Yes.
Ah, now go
Yes.
back
Yes.
to the other dude.
Oh,
Wait. Ethical and legal consideration. Ethics. Before we do ethics, we have to be uh, aware of skills. No, hold on. Open the PowerPoint. Characteristic of the effective counselor. Characteristics.
Teacher could not open, teacher.
Why not? Mokadane.
I didn't open from the computer or laptop.
Uh,
I screen recorded from the phone. The
wait, I am
tubes.
trying to share it.
Mm.
I'm trying to share it. Can't share. Why? I don't know why. Can you share,
Naomi,
Naomi?
hello.
teacher, I am
She said
having
she
the
have the copies.
hard copy. So give me a second. I'll try to share.
Yeah.
If I am
Yeah,
sharing,
that's
teacher,
what.
you should give the hotship for me.
What?
The hostship. You should make me
How
as the
we
host.
uh how do I do that?
Go to participants,
Ah,
and then there will just keep your mouse in my one. There will be more icon, more something. Oh, three blue buttons. Three.
mm, oh, wait.
Right click on my
Ah,
name.
okay, hold on.
Uh, okay.
Okay.
Teacher. Wait,
See.
teacher, give me a second.
Okay. Ah, see, you can see it, right?
Yeah, but nothing is
I
there.
can see now I can see.
Yeah, no, okay.
The order is correct, teacher.
Where's the topic?
Mhm.
Hello,
See, I can't see that. Tactics of the effective counselor.
Teacher, the topic is skills and techniques only there.
Can you see it?
Yeah, skills
No,
and
no, no. The
techniques.
other one, then. Open the other one, darling.
this is about teacher that character. Teacher, is this
Okay. Characteristics of the effective counselor.
this one?
Ah, yes, this one.
Okay.
Can you make it bigger?
You can see, teacher. Can zoom and
You
see.
can?
Yeah.
Ah, right. Okay. First one. Can you read, Naomi?
Okay, miss. Characteristics of the effective counselor. Why do people become a counselor? Most people they can really help people. Some have a desire to help those that are less fortunate. Some wants to help prevent people from having difficulties in the first place. Some want to help people reach their full potential. Hello? Hello? Shafrina.
Yeah.
Teacher is not here now.
Hello.
Not this.
Where did she go?
Where is
Teacher.
she?
Yes,
Hello.
Yeah, you can hear me, right?
Ah,
yes,
yeah.
teacher.
Can you read?
Mhm.
Characteristics
She
of
read.
the effective. Wait, wait.
She read.
Okay, okay, yeah, right. Why do people become counselors?
Okay.
Okay, most believe they can really help people. Some have a desire to help. Okay, some wants to help prevent people from having difficulties. Some want to help people reach their full potential. So these are types of people. Types means like type of helping. Helping also has a limit, no, sometimes, right? So some people like to see other people's potential, but some people don't like, even though they help, right? Uh, so some people like to help less fortunate. Okay, so there are people like that. Why do people become counselors? So those people are not trained for be counselors, but those are also in other way they are also counselors, no, helping, no, right? Next one. Next one. Potentially negative reasons for becoming a counselor. දැන් අරව positive නේ. මේවා negative. What are those? Read.
When a counselor needs to make a difference but has unrealistic expectations for helping, When a counselor has a need to care for others, the counselor may undermine the client's autonomy by doing for the client. When the counseling student has a need to solve his or her own problems, when the counselor has a need to be powerful or influential.
Potentially negative reasons for becoming a counselor. When a counselor needs to make a difference but has unrealistic expectation for helping. Like what? Hmm? කොහොමද කියන්න පුළුවන් එක?
Mm,
For different like negative thoughts and negative aims.
Can be, yes. Those are like unrealistic expectation. ඒවා වෙන්න පුළුවන් because counselor also a person, human. He also have a feelings, heart, and
mhm,
his personality, right? So depends on attitudes and those things. These things can be happen automatically, can be happen, right? When a counselor has a need to care for others, the counselor may undermine the client's autonomy by doing for the client. Like if you feel the same thing before you become a counselor, then that also a problem, no? Okay, then you might need a counselor. Understand?
Yes.
Okay. Next
mm,
one. Counselor interpersonal dimensions that affect counseling outcomes. Interpersonal dimensions meet one. Yeah?
Personal
mm,
personal issues.
Yes. His personal
Attitudes.
situations. The ability to listen and convey understanding without judgment. Right? Even though you don't like a particular religion, you cannot be judgmental. You can't uh, be judging. You have to be judgmental. Okay? Even though your personal opinions is different, you cannot bring them to your conversation, to your client, right? So your interpersonal dimension can affect, but you should aware of those. Okay, the ability to the sensitive, empathetic, and patient. Okay, you empathetic is the main one. Without being empathy, you cannot be a counselor, and you have to be very patient. Okay. What is the next one?
The
the
ability to
ability to
convey
convey.
to the client that the counselor values the client's experiences.
Yeah. What is that?
Counselor values respect the client's experiences.
Um, okay. Yeah, you can explain like that too. Like the ability to convey the belief that the client is capable, trustworthy, respectable, worthy, and dependable. The, now, you cannot make him feel that you are not trusting him. හරිද? Because your behavior also influencing them, no? Understand? The way you look at him, the way you maintain eye contact, those things, non-verbal expressions,
Ah,
those things you are, you know, uh, influencing. Okay, you have to convey that you are empathy. The ability to convey to the client that the counselor values the client's experiences, the ability to convey the belief that the client is capable, trustworthy, respectable, worthy, and dependable. You cannot argue with your client, even though his point is wrong. You can't be like that. You are trained for something, and if you are arguing with the client, that is not right. No. He is here because he needs a help, and you cannot be rude to him. You have to respect him. He's a patient, he's the client. You have to respect him, and you have to be patient with the opinion he is bringing up, even though your interpersonal dimensions are different. Understood?
Yes.
Next one.
Yes. The ability.
Understand.
Demonstration of a positive belief in himself or herself as a counselor, and demonstration of positive self-esteem. Okay, you have to make his self-esteem positive. Don't think like that. Think like this. Okay, maybe the way you thinking is not correct.
Correct.
Maybe you should proud of what you do. Not everyone can do a job like you do.
Yes.
It is really uh, what you called uh, respectable job you are doing. So give him a positive feedback, right? Has self awareness and knows his or her own biases or prejudices, and is able to analyze his or her own feelings, right? That if he don't like to uh, engage with particular religion, so you cannot uh, tell him, don't think like that is wrong, we all are human. Not in a rude way, but in a good way. You can explain, we all are humans. uh, Prejudices means good bad both, right? And you have to analyze his feelings very carefully, without hurting and without making him discomfort, right? He is sensitive to cultural differences. If you personally don't like some sort of a religion, don't bring it to your client. Then he will be more uh, pay attention to that. That is not the thing you should do. You should change the negative belief of his, right? Without adding more. Understood? Okay. Has tolerance for ambiguity. Ambiguous. You have to be tolerate a lot when you deal with a client. Okay.
Which
There are
ambiguity
different.
means what, teacher?
Ambiguity means like some areas that not flexible, like
Okay.
mm, maybe
Understood.
maybe he is proud of something, like he is more proud of it, like you have to tolerate that.
Hmm.
Understood? Something like
Yes.
that. Next one. Okay, so has the ability to model appropriate behaviors, has the ability to be altruistic, is ethical, ability to use oneself as a vehicle of change. Okay, it's like this. You should aimed to see a change of the client. So you should make it with a plan and ethically. Ethically means what? As a counselor, you also have guidelines. Okay, you cannot skip those. You have to listen carefully to his problem, and you have to process it, and you have to interpret it. Okay, With these processes, you have to be careful with your ethics as well, because you are interacting with a person and his problem, and you can't uh, be a what do you call mm, in the office room, in that practitioner's room, you and the client has a collaboration between you two, but not with outside, not in outside. Okay, when you go outside, if you talk like a friend, then it shouldn't be like that. Otherwise it will make unnecessary problems. Maybe if you are a female, if it is a male, that can be uh, making a path for another thing, a affair or something like that. So those are not accepted. Understood?
Yes.
Okay. Next one. Is committed to understanding specialized knowledge of the field and find it personally meaningful. Stays current in professional knowledge by continuing to learn. Respects the client's worldview, personal experience, spirituality, and culture. Has good self care strategies. Maybe sometimes he always repeats one thing. Maybe he is a religious person, so he will many times he might repeat the same thing. God will protect me, something like that. Maybe that sentence he will repeat several times, but you cannot uh, argue with the belief he is holding without change in that, without get annoyed with that. You have to be very patient, and you have to help him respect the belief, worldview, right? Even though now, when your interpersonal dimension for a particular person you like, you attract people uh, when you find a person with some sort of a appearance. Maybe the client's appearance also same, but you cannot make a unrelevant relationship with the client, even though your interpersonal likes and dislikes are there. Understood? If you don't like something in personal life, don't bring it there. If you like it personal, don't bring it there. Otherwise, it will make unnecessary problems. Right? Next one. Okay. He or she can tolerate doubt, uncertainty, and ambiguity, and can recognize the phone and dishonest. Okay, phony, right? Characteristics of the self-actualizing person. Okay, he or she can tolerate doubt. Hmm. Tolerance level should be in the peak. Okay, right? Because whenever you meet different people, different issues, you have to tolerate each and everyone situation, and be empathetic in each situation. That is not easy. Becoming a counselor is not easy. Okay, uncertainty, any ambiguous situation. Ah, so sometimes, even though you are not agreeing with the opinion he is holding, you cannot be dishonest with him, right? So hiding your feelings also not easy, right? He or she is honest and genuine and accepts oneself as human with flaws and mistakes, and recognizes others as human also, right? You have to be honest and genuine. Okay, you can't promise him one thing and you can't break it. Actually, you cannot promise him, right? Because whenever you meet people, you might forget what you promised, right? So something like positive reinforcement, positive encouragement, positive feedback will eventually make a change of your clients, right? He or she has an internal source of motivation. Give a little bit of motivation. I had the same situation few years ago. So I did this. Why don't you try it out? Understand? Something like that. Okay?
Yes, miss.
So that will drive and seeks growth instead of external approval. Okay? So, yeah, next one. How many slides more?
Oh,
4. Okay, right? This one. Now, he or she is, yeah, can you read?
he, he or she is highly ethical. He or she has a good sense of humor that is not hurtful towards others. He or she has a unique creativeness, all his or her own. He or she is involved in causes outside of himself or herself.
Yeah. Now, effective counselor should be highly ethical. ඒ කියන්නේ you are a professional trained person and you cannot skip those guidelines, right? You have a license with you, right? If you break any guideline, so that license will be uh, you know cancelled, right? He or she has a good sense of humor, empathy. Yeah, your words, when you say something to your client, those words cannot hurt client. Okay, and you should make a unique creativeness, like to how to be tricky, how to get a turning point, how to target a particular behavior. uh, so yeah, like that. Okay, and also high level of energy to remain an alert, attentive their clients. Okay, attention is really uh, needed in this process. If you didn't pay attention, you cannot undergo with the situation he is experiencing and get uh, information you want. When you paraphrase, you can get more information. When you reflect, you can get more information. So to do those, you have to pay more attention and you need to have a lot of energy. Focus on, concentrate on, concentrate on the issue, right? And you have to take risk every day and face rejection by their clients or face clients or situation they may not be prepared to face, right? Counselors face ambiguity all the time and need to be able to handle it. Okay, you have to control yourself when you tolerate things. You also need to have a break, right? You also a human, you have to think of yourself as well. Okay, so counselors are expected to develop intimate relationship with their clients, as clients will share deeply personal and meaningful material with the counselor. Maybe the client's past uh, relationship might influence you as well, because your past relationship also similar to client's story as well. So when you start flashback those similar situations, you might get attracted to the client. So things can happen like that. Okay, so yeah, next one. end, no?
Yes, please.
Right? So yeah. Now you have learned some uh, details of counseling process, but not everything, not all. You have study more. We have two presentations to finish, right? I don't think we can do it now as we have only 5 minutes. If I start it now, it is in vain, right? So what are the questions you have now? Any questions? Do you understand so far?
Yes.
Yes.
Yeah. We have only two presentations more to do. Next time
Yeah,
we can finish, right? So what
Until
we can do is you have to get printouts, huh? Don't forget.
I have hard
Who
copies,
is that?
teacher.
Who is
No,
that? That your mother?
not my mother.
Okay. Shafrina, do you have any question?
no, teacher, I understood everything.
Teacher,
Okay.
what is the next lesson we are going to do?
Not next lesson. We have a next presentation.
After that, same
After
thing
that,
or
I will do therapies with you. Psychotherapy, like that. Cognitive
okay.
behavioral therapy. Okay. So, shall we finish for today?
Okay.
Yeah? Okay,
Yes.
then.
Okay.
See you next
Thank you.
week and get the printouts. Okay?
Okay. Thank you, teacher.
Okay,
God
Okay.
bless. Bye.
Bye.
Good night.
Bye.
thank you,
Bye.
teacher. Okay, good night.